Hello, True Duelists. My name is Craig Fee, and as always, welcome to the New Card Report. Because new cards came out, and that's free content here on this channel. Yes, it's another week of set reveals from the Cyberstorm Access set. No, I did not mess up that sentence. You misheard it. And there are probably going to be about 30 more cards, even after these ones, so hope you enjoy new card reports because they do not stop coming. Great news for people who love to complain, because Bystials just got more support. But don't worry, don't need to complain too much. This is a synchro monster and not more hand traps on crack. Yes, Bystial Dissipator. Sure. It's a level 10 with 3,500 attack and defense, and its materials are any one tuner and one or more non-tuners.
Non-tuner dragons.
So much like the Bystials themselves, this shit's splashable and generic.
Generic for dragons.
It's got two effects. The first one can, once per turn, summon a banished light or dark monster, and the second effect is either a pop or a negate, depending on how you use it. When an opponent's monster activates its effect, you can shuffle a banished light or dark monster back into the deck from either player's banished pile. If you shuffled an opponent's monster, you get to destroy the monster whose effect was activated, and if you shuffle one of your own monsters, you get to negate the monster effect. Never both, though. Is this like some type of riddle? I don't know. The artwork's fucking dope, though. All in all, it's okay because you can choose whichever one you want because it's part of Bystials, and Bystials are fucking everywhere and in every deck. So you'll have banished monsters, they'll have banished monsters, there's gonna be a bunch of Bystials on the board. It's not gonna be a problem whether you choose if you want to pop or negate it. That's for damn sure. As is the case with all level 10 synchros though, this competes with Baron de Fleur, Bonhomme Carnival, whatever my joke is there. It does beat out Baron in the coolness factor, but Baron's an omni-negate, so you tell me. For the artwork, it's worth the summon. That's the fucking truth right there, folks. World of Boundless Consciousness is... I'm just realizing how absurd that card name is. What a fucking card name. World of Boundless Consciousness. Me on Twitter. God damn. This is a new trap that supports Vicious Astraud specifically, because I guess something has to support that card. Its effect will let you target and destroy one card on the field, and if you destroyed a Vicious Astraud specifically, you can then summon one of your banished Vizaz Starfrost. Otherwise, Vicious Astraud will gain 1,500 attack provided, you control it, which you probably will. If you want an alternative to this trap card, you need already to set, have set on the field to be able to get a single pop. I might recommend instead not playing this thing at all and just instead using Vicious Astraud's built-in pop, which, sure, why the fuck not, Konami? There's really nothing else to say about this card, and so it's on to the next one. Amazement Dominator Arlecchino is a new piece of Amazement support that inspired a number of tweets so horny I don't think I can even show them on YouTube. This is, you won't believe it, Evil Arlecchino. Oh, spicy, I know. If you control an Amazement monster, you can summon this card from your hand for free! And when you do, you can add a copy of Amazement Family Faces from the deck or graveyard to your hand. If you're curious, that card is their in-archetype Snatch Steal, so pretty solid search right there. The other effect is a quick effect. To target an effect monster on the opponent's side of the field, shuffle this card back into the deck, summon out the regular good guy Arlecchino, and then make the targeted monster's attack become 0. Now you might think, wow, that's decent for helping out for an OTK. And in that case, you thought like an idiot, because this effect is only on the opponent's turn. Why not? I mean, it does get out the original one, which is more disruption, right? I didn't actually reread the original one, I just assumed it's disruption. I might be lying to you entirely. Either way, it gets out the other guy, and he has words on him, so surely he's decent in that regard, and being able to get it out onto the field will make this card decent by proxy. That's the most factual thing I've said all year. Not much else to say. It's decent. And some of you are way too fucking horny for it. But that's just like every other card I talk about on the new card report, isn't it? If any of you are interested in that Bystial Synchro, I'm sending you to God. Moving on from horny and onto a sleeping... No, okay, what the fuck is that transition? Numerelia is a new archetype that features someone sleeping and is therefore Konami abandoning Dream Mirror and remaking it entirely, because only one archetype can focus on sleep, according to Twitter users. Do not tell Baguska. Dreaming Numerelia is a level 1 pendulum that they have in the core of the deck, from what I can gather. Someone keep an eye on the Witchcrafter players. I'm not gonna lie, I just don't like where this is going in general. I am not a trusting man, it would seem. This card's pendulum effect lets you place a Numerelia continuous spell from deck or grave onto the field and then place itself in the extra deck, but using this effect will prevent you from special summoning a copy of Dreaming Numerelia for the rest of the turn. Praise be to the normal summon, I guess, it is a level 1. Its monster effect says you can't normal summon or set it, so fuck me and fuck the normal summon, I guess. I'm just a liar. It instead has to be special summoned from your face-up extra deck by having no other cards in your extra deck at all. It can only be special summoned once per turn this way. Fucking neat. Its actual effect, it can banish a card from your opponent's field or graveyard face down for every 3 of your own face-down banished cards. Then you can shuffle the number of your own face-down banished cards back into the deck equal to the number of cards you banished from the opponent. It's a solid effect and makes Desires pretty damn good in the deck. Seems somewhat convoluted for a start to the deck though. Let's see what else they have for us. Numerelia's Dream Defender Aurelier. Aurelier? Fucking French. It's pretty badass looking for a thing made of chocolate, I think we can all agree upon. This is a level 10 beast with 2500 attack and 2000 defense, and it can once per turn summon itself from your hand so long as you have a face-up pendulum monster in your extra deck. And if you've got Dreaming Numerelia in your extra deck, you can banish a card face down from your face down extra deck to give this guy 500 attack for each monster the opponent controls for the turn. So they want cards in the extra deck proper, they just want to banish them all before you summon out the child. Funky. This guy's nothing special effect-wise, but it is cool visually, and therefore I like it. Numerelia's Dream Defender, QA. Fuck that word. This is another level 10 beast, and it's got mirrored stats from the chocolate one, so take from that what you will. It also can summon itself from hand once per turn if you've got a face-up pendulum monster in your extra deck, and its unique effect is that if the opponent activates a card or effect that targets a Numerelia card or cards you control, while you've got Dreaming Numerelia in the extra deck, you can banish a face-down extra deck monster, face down, to negate that activation. I don't know how much they'll see play broadly, but I do know that this is some amount of potential for rank 10 spam, provided you can get access to a pendulum monster. So shoutouts to Gustav Max, I guess. The Sleeping Beauty Tower of Numerelia is the only continuous spell we've got so far that once per turn can banish 2 face-down monsters from your extra deck face down to add 2 level 10 beasts from your deck to your hand. But doing so will lock you into only summoning pendulum monsters from your extra deck for the rest of the turn. So once again, I'm a liar because no Gustav Max for you. It also lets you banish monsters from your face-down extra deck, face down, to protect your Numerelia monsters from destruction by battle. So as long as Dreaming Numerelia is in your extra deck, you know, your shit's safe from battle. It searches the 2 monsters that the deck has to actually make any sort of push or, you know, reliable plays with, so it is good in that regard. And like I said, it's the only card Dreaming Numerelia can actually get, so it doesn't really matter whether or not you like this card or if you think it's good, you're playing it. You know, provided you're actually playing this deck. Sweet Dreams Numerelia is a new normal spell for the deck that adds a Numerelia monster from your deck to hand, and if you've already got Dreaming Numerelia in your extra deck, it will make it so your opponent is unable to activate cards or effects in the response to your normal or special summons of Numerelia monsters for the turn. ROTA with a benefit. Very nice. It can also place itself from the graveyard to the bottom of your deck to place a face-up Dreaming Numerelia you control in the monster zone back into your extra deck face-up. Sure. This is indeed an archetype. We can all agree on that. It's just really weird, at least to me. The level 1 is clearly a late game summon since you want the other cards to banish face down extra deck cards to get their effects off, but then the level 1 needs to be the only card in your extra deck to summon itself, meaning that you don't even want like 2 copies of the child. You only ever want 1. And as of now, the effects we're getting in exchange for your entire extra deck seem to amount to protection from targeting and conditional beater status. Seems like a cute deck for the funsies, and quite possibly the first deck to actually want to play 3 copies of Pendulum Treasure. Surely that's got to be noteworthy in some regard. Otherwise, I'm wholly unimpressed, but it is a new archetype, and I have reported on it. Yay for me. And so that'll wrap it up for this week's new card report. Just covering new cards in this video, your regularly scheduled update will be out tomorrow as usual. As always, I've been your host, Craig Fee. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you subscribe to Yugioh Strats for this week's update so that you can become a true duelist and so that your smoking Italian wife does not file for divorce upon seeing a man hugging a giant spiel. Peace.